5 minutes or 6 minutes. So I'm gonna jump right into it. I want to let y'all know, if y'all want to know how much of a punk ass DJ Envy is, and I'm not gonna take no little other shots other than that. I want you to consider this. Remember that movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, with Will Smith and his son? Very interesting program, movie, very motivational movie. I mean, that dude based on a true story, and it was pretty accurate from what I'm to understand. If I wanted to be an asshole, this is what I would do. I would take the call that DJ Envy had, making fun of Kevin Samuels, talk about outside of some Henny's or Henry's from The Pursuit of Happiness. And I hope somebody does this as an idea, and I might do it. The Pursuit of Happiness. You know, when he was homeless, you would never hear DJ Envy selling CDs outside that car, because that nigga would be called out for what that is. And shout out to Jada Black for doing some commentary on it. There's people do some commentary. I think I might do an upload on it myself. But that's what I would do. And then I would also then play, this is where it get demonetized. I would play the conversation that Damon Dash had with DJ Envy about DJ Envy being a job. Let's be absolutely clear here about DJ Envy. DJ Envy is like a more younger, more street hip version of Roland fucking Martin. If DJ Envy gets fired from the Breakfast Club, DJ Envy will become nothing. He is not somebody where anybody gives a fuck about what he thinks. Nobody gives a. He's one of these dudes that he's got to be shoved down people's throats on the fucking radio. That nobody's gonna go to his shit and actually listen to this shit, other than the fact that they're already listening to that channel. And he is not somebody that, quite frankly, could build a serious following on his own, independent of his connections or anybody that he knows, because his shit has already been pegged. Like, I forgot about that Jada Black video doing that apology tour when he cheated on his wife. DJ Envy and really lame, but they got money. Shout out to Charles Barton, and nothing against cops, but DJ Envy's dad's a cop. How, like, for real, can DJ Envy really be? Like, as far as him trying to imitate a hip-hop street vernacular. I mean, let's call that what the fuck it is. But my point is, to just end this, is that DJ Envy's the last one that needs to be running his mouth. I mean, that nigga's a cheater. That nigga's a confirmed cheater. So for him to sit here and then think he can have his opinion on what he does to women, when he basically is out here playing, Kevin might say exercise his options. Well, if you exercise your options, you don't have to do the apology tour. Like, shout out to Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. But that's what I remember with that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to bend the knee to your wife if you're just exercising options. Because at the end of the day, and Jada Black said this, and I give him credit, he said if DJ Envy gets fired from the Breakfast Club, Erica Mena's gone. And the reality is, that nigga ain't no different than Stephen A. Smith. Platform that they got on, fine, they got on. But at the end of the day, it's the platform that makes them. They don't make the platform. Point blank, period. That's facts. And so it's, people love to say, oh, well, I don't want to, Kevin's not always right. It's very clear. If I don't think somebody's right, I'm going to say it. But these little bitch shots that these people are taking, that shit ain't it either. So I want y'all to marinate on that. Go back and look at some of them clips. Go type in The Pursuit of Happiness and type in like an inspirational clip. And then think about DJ Academics and what he said. I want you to think about that and really marinate, because that nigga is. That's what that nigga was talking about. When dudes got to do what they need to do to put themselves in a position to win. And then this motherfucker sitting in his bitch ass 9 to 5 that he couldn't get another gig, most likely. He'll be just like Claudia Jordan. These motherfuckers going from radio, from gig to gig, because that's their claim to fame. And they can't build shit on their own. Shout out to Joe Button, built the podcast on his own. So I want y'all to really, really, really think about that shit. and when you listen to his dumb ass caping just because of females in her fucking feelings. Look, man, if you don't like Kevin Samuels, don't listen to him. I'm talking about the chick. Like these chicks, they can't stand the fact that somebody like Kevin Samuels even exists. Yeah, I heard about that. I'm not sweating that. I don't know if though any of them was those people that was on his same shit. That I don't know. That when Kevin did the show, because I'm not familiar with Joe Button's podcast like that. No, and here's the thing. I just want what's up, Archer. I just wanted to. He is lame as fuck. I mean, he's always. I mean, but what I just wanted y'all to think about that. And I just wanted to put that out there because I actually might put together a little clip to kind of replay what he said and just so y'all could get a real picture of what he actually said. And when you understand that in context of his when you understand that in context of like what that interview, that famous interview he did with that you need to be a boss situation. And it wasn't just him, it was Charlemagne talking shit too, but the reality is it was mainly Charlemagne talking shit because what's called shut DJ Envy the fuck up. He said, I mean, I can't speak to shit what you don't know. And shout out to Obsidian, who's Obsidian talked about DJ Envy's kind of rise, basically being what they call a bathroom DJ behind Angie Martinez on Hot 97. So my thing is, what you got is you got dudes that, and here's the funny thing about it. I can't stand Satan the Sinner, but say what you want to about Satan the Sinner. At least, like, these dudes are not even on the level. Like, it doesn't matter how famous you are. You got, so like, okay, let's keep this real. You got Umar, because I want to make this quick. You got Umar that wants to come at Kevin when Umar is a known cheater. Umar is a no, like his scandal. And I'm not saying just because you can't have scandal, you can't speak. But Umar basically, the Breakfast Club didn't really press Umar at all about that school. So that tells you how much they give a fuck about black people. That tells you how much they give a fuck about movements being supported. Because if people are not held to account, then black people are not going to give. The next person is gonna find it harder to give. I think Jay Morrison was on Breakfast Club shit. So my point is, they don't care. They're there for their job, for their platform, for their shit. That's it. And so when they try to step in this shit, like, oh yeah, I need to protect women. I mean, yo, all I got, like, is Erica Mena even black? Like is Erica Mena? I mean, you're upset about black women, and I'm like, nigga, she's exotic. So it's always this bullshit about all this shit about a black man's credibility don't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit that Black Kevin has been with two black women. It doesn't mean shit that he was a stepdaughter to a black. None of that means nothing. It doesn't matter that he grew up with. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All it matters is how I'm in my feelings right now. And these dudes are so used to talking to stupid motherfuckers that they're used to just gassing motherfuckers up. They don't have to make sense. The shit Envy said doesn't make sense. I mean, all you had to do, this is what Envy should have said. Like, you don't even gotta like Kevin. All Envy should have said was this. You know what, man? I don't understand why anybody listens to him. Honestly, but I gotta go to, like, but people do. I don't know why. It beats me, whatever. But all I'm gonna tell you is the age-old truth is, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Because the thing about it is, I mean, that's just what it is. There's a lot of people that don't like a lot of stuff, but And because you got people like Alex Jones, you got plenty of people that's out there that people don't like. But at the end of the day, you know, if you don't like it, don't watch it. And he should say, that's what I would say to anybody that does not like Kevin Samuels. The best thing the Envy could have said if he was going to be any what kind of reels, he could have said this. Look, and this is a guy that's in media, so he should understand this. He should say, you know what, if you don't like it, don't watch it. And one of the things that y'all got to understand is a lot of y'all that can't stand this man, you all are promoting this man. So when you all don't like him, you are promoting him. So a big reason why he is where he is because a lot of y'all are basically losing your minds and taking he wouldn't say it this way, but basically you all are sharing and spreading things on social media, assuming that you're just going to build up outrage to this man when this man is really not beholden to nobody but YouTube, to the extent that I know. That's what he said. And so y'all need to just stop watching it because you all it's the same thing with Donald Trump. And see, he could say that. He could say that and get away with that. Everybody did not believe Donald Trump was going to become president, but what happened is everybody just their outrage literally promoted this man. And then there you go. And he barely lost this time. So y'all should understand that. So look, man, I'm with you, sister. I'm with you, honey. That's what you said. Fuck, you know, the hell, like he's a lame. He's a goofy, whatever. I remember him for blah, 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 blah. Right? Yeah. But y'all are not doing nobody no. Y'all are not helping your cause by doing it. That's what he should have said. He and left it. And he should have said it. He would have actually gave her actionable advice. But what she wanted is she wanted him to basically call another dude out. See, that's their idea of protection. David Carroll did a video talking about that, where that's what Yanni Red was talking about with Umar. She don't like Umar either, but when a black man is speaking against another black man that they want, that's protection. That's called being an attack dog. And that's important that David Carroll called that out, because that shows you that's what these women want you to be. So whenever these women always talk about, well, I had to do it, that's bullshit. They want that. They don't want to give it up. And that's why you have to let them do everything on their own. Women that do not want to cooperate, I'm not even talking about necessarily sexual cooperation, because there is such a thing as asexual cooperation. You can't fuck every chick, and every chick ain't compatible with fucking. But that doesn't mean you ain't got women that's taking out up for you in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Being on the team does not always mean you sucking somebody's dick. That's not what that means, because clearly it's generally supposed to be one dude that you're doing that with if you're a chick. That is not what that means. So the women that are on the team are fine. And see, the women on the team don't got to say nothing, because black men are not out here talking about fuck every night. Millennials may be like that, but millennials are not like that. They're like, look, if you cool, you cool. If you not, it's degrees of height we're going to get dealt with. But this is what they expect these dudes like Envy and them to do. Well, of course, Envy would, because Envy only cares about looks. And she's an attractive woman. And yes, that's probably the best he could do. But Envy's a lame. And look, man, when you got fame, like I think DJ Academics is not even I think he likes Kevin. But DJ Academics is like, them niggas, like, look, man, them niggas, when you got fame and shit, that don't mean shit even now, because now you can get used. But the reality of the situation is, man, that nigga is the son of a fucking cop. Ain't nobody in New York taking him serious. Let's call that. And I'm not even trying to shit on the dude, but DJ Envy has been doing a lot of dumbass shit. And so it becomes, and that's another thing too, and I'm going to say this and I am done. Everybody is starting to do this little disclaimer about, no, I'm not, like, everything that Kevin does is not right and all of this. Look, I come from the manosphere, what we call balls and strikes. Kevin is taking his shots at me when he didn't like what I said about marriage. You know, and I understand like where he's coming from with it more, but I was a lot more forceful back then. But I was still cool with him because I said what I said, and that is what I said. But I'm not gonna tell y'all somebody ain't always right or nothing. Like me, If you can't listen to me long enough to understand that I call proper balls and strikes, get the fuck off my channel. That's gonna be my disclaimer. If you want to say that I'm an echo chamber, go take your ass somewhere else. Because I don't give a fuck about YouTube. I really don't. I don't give a fuck about your views. I don't give a fuck about your watch time. I don't give a fuck. I appreciate people to send me money. I appreciate that. I definitely do. But if you're a new person and you don't like what I said and you can't make like a comment, because I read all my comments. And if you give a dissenting comment, if it's a legitimate thing, I'll answer it. I will answer it in good faith. If you give me a good faith dissension. If you're one of these people like, oh, he's a stan. Fuck you. Kiss my ass. Because my thing is, can you actually give me things? So what is it that you disagree with, Kevin, and we can have a conversation? If you can't, like, if your IQ is not high enough to actually present a disagreement, then you just shut the fuck up. Nobody's asking you to watch Kevin. If you don't like him, don't watch him. Don't talk about him. But see, I know you can't do that because you're so triggered. You can't help it. And that's the beauty behind these coders that made social media. They know that you all, particularly black people, but all people, you all are so manipulated by social media that you can't help it. Because a lot of y'all ain't got no life. A lot of y'all females in particular, and a lot of the dudes that follow you all are on social media. And see, here's the thing. Motherfuckers will say, well, I ain't on social media like that. Or it's these niggas on social. Yet, you all are the main ones getting triggered. It was a chick, I played it. It was a chick that literally got a headache. She hated black, you heard it. And Nurse Nerd, you need to hear my last string before the woman Angela got on. She hated black men so much, it gave her a headache. That's what she said. She was calling, but she never said black men. She said niggas and apes. That's how much hate, because hate takes a lot of energy. Think about that for a second. And there's a lot of black women out there like that. She hated Deborah Cooper's another one. That's that Deborah Cooper level of hatred. That level of hatred where, you got so much of the dark side of the force that it starts, that dark side degradation that happens with Sith Lords. That's how much hatred off an idea. Black men are an idea to these people. And that idea, you got black women that hate black men so much. You got black women that hate black men enough that racist white men are like, man, I might need to draft your ass into the KKK. You got black women that are like the Tiger Woods of hating black men, in which even the white motherfucker said, you know what, I got to take my hat off to your ass. And that's and it's, why am I saying that? What does that have to fuck to do with envy? What that has to do with envy is that hatred, emotion, when it comes to sales and marketing, love something or hate something, indifference is the worst thing indifference is the epitome of being lame in marketing. But even if you don't love somebody, if you hate somebody, hatred is useful. Hatred is useful. You can use hate because people will talk about what they hate more than they talk about what they like. And the people talking about motherfuckers they hate is going to get people wanting to listen to what is it that triggered this person. And what do you know? Be like, you know what? He got some good talking points bullshit that I always talk shit about. Which means emotionally, I actually agree with everything. And that's what these dumbasses don't even understand. They don't even understand that their hatred actually powers Kevin. And you can't even tell them that because they're so deep in it. That's some loser ass shit. And then what you have is men that are very emotionally sensitive to women's bullshit and like envy. And plus his pockets is tied to it. Like, remember, Yana Van Zam said black women are paid to be out of order. They're paid to be out of order. Well, a lot of dudes are paid to keep black women out of order, or paid to massage black women being out of order. They're paid to cap. DJ Envy is one of these people. Remember, Charlemagne the God learned from Wendy Williams. We know what Wendy Williams is, and DJ Envy's like the lapdog of Charlemagne. That's how crazy it is. And the thing about it is, they've had lesser than dudes. I mean, Boyce Watkins was not when he was just, like, this is insane. Like, some of the shit that he was saying, and it's like, nigga, you stupid, because even us talking, see, it's different. Like, when you clowning a dude and when women are triggered, like, whatever, man. CJMB in NBM, I don't know where you've been. You don't need to be on YouTube to know black male jealousy is black male. Are you serious? I mean, you in the DMV, you should know. Yes, black male I didn't need YouTube to see that. Black male jealousy is a motherfucker, because because black men are socialized not to work together. No, I know, I disagree with that. He didn't set himself up for defamation of character. All he did was call him lame and say he saw him somewhere. That's not a defamation of character. That's not worth that. No, like, as far as the Breakfast Club, I've never been subscribed to the Breakfast Club, but they have good interviews, and so I'm not gonna watch it for them. I'm gonna watch it for the person that's there. DJ Envy is trying to buzzy pop from the comments. He said about that 50-year-old girl that got shot by an officer. Black women came after him. This is all fake. It is. It is, nurse. And a lot of these and DJ Envy is really, as far as I'm concerned, I classify him as a culture vulture. He's a culture vulture, in my opinion. So, but my thing is, and he knows what. This is why when people say the matriarchy doesn't exist, these dudes, whoever you cater to is who has the power. Off in the air, C says the KKK has not been relevant since the '60s, bruh. Find a new victimology. Man, get the fuck out of here. Are you serious? The KKK has gone shut the fuck up. The KKK, number one, the KKK you don't see them getting national attention. The KKK is very relevant. The KKK is very relevant. Folks are just not going. They're more like the Stormfront in the Boys. You a fucking idiot if you believe that. Just because they not out here with hoods and shit don't mean that they the ideology. Man, shut the fuck up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. If they so not relevant, then why is it that you felt the need to make that comment? Georgia Peach, once Umar called Maxine Waters queen on that breakfast of, I was done. He did, and have a few good talking points, but bruh, Maxine Waters queen, more like it. Absolutely. And you know what? I give proper balls and strikes. Maxine Waters did call out. She was one of the main ones that pushed they were pumping crack in the community, and that was like, she pushed that. But the thing about Maxine Waters is a matriarch. She is like a classic matriarch. And there's no way really to deal with her. You're just going to have to let her age out. Meaning you're just going to have to let her die. And unfortunately, and I'm not saying this as far as, oh, I wish she died. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's no way to beat her. There's no way to take her out of that office. It's just not. She's got too much of a hold on it. So it is what it is. And the truth is, chances are, Maxine Waters got that Jimmy Carter blood, which she'll probably be a fucking 110 years old. Probably. But Maxine Waters promoting, I mean, she don't care. Like, my point is not to say she's bad. The point is, Maxine Waters does not care. Maxine Waters is a status quo person. Like that crack stuff she basically held down years ago, but like in the last 20 years, she is a status quo individual. That is who she is. And the matriarchy is a status quo. And the problem is there is cost to the matriarchy. Like black women do not benefit from the matriarchy in the long run. They don't. They don't. So this idea that the matriarchy is like, oh, they don't benefit. It's only a couple of top 10% females that they get their little jobs and shit and they benefit. And honestly, this is one thing I don't talk about. One of the jobs of the matriarchy is to keep black women in sheep mode while they suffer. Because if it's the right person telling them the right shit, black women will deal with that queen of the landfill shit. That's why I tell motherfuckers the truth. I say straight up, I think black men need to very much so look, the black women that's on the team, be on the team. If you don't like black men, fuck it, date out. See if you can get a better deal somewhere else. And we need to be forceful about that. That ain't about hating nobody. That's about saying, look, we are who we are, and this is what the fuck it is. And if you think you can do better, I invite you to go try. Well, you saying that, but if you come back with a mixed kid, you're right, you're fucked. But if you come back, depends. But you come back with a mixed baby, yeah, you are fucked. Because black men are pretty much on the same page with that. But yes, and then Umar, and another thing, George, I'm going to throw another thing at you, Georgia Peach. Throw another thing at you. Dr. Frances Quest Welsing. Nobody, men or women, can ever say debunk the work that she's done, debating those white supremacists on her own in those schools and taking them out. The book she's wrote, the stuff that she's talked about 40 years before it happened, nobody can debunk her. Umar had a recent interview on BNC with Mark Lamont Hill. When Dr. Frances Quest Welsing died, Mark Lamont Hill and Yvette Cornell, I hold Mark Lamont Hill more accountable because he was actually on TV, actually started talking about how Dr. Frances Quest Welsing, we got to talk about her record. We got to talk about her ISIS papers and her stance against LGBT rights, trying to kiss the ass of LGBT rights and shit like that, right? On the dead body of Dr. Frances Quest Welsing. I never forgot that. Now I know Yvette's gay. I still hold her accountable to that too. But Mark Lamont Hill could have just shut the fuck up and let that one go. So when these dudes talk about, and so Umar, you can't tell me Umar doesn't know that, didn't know he did that. But yet you want to call the Black Manosphere hate group? Dude, when it came time for you to ask him about that shit, because if he want to be Big Papa, he want to be that alpha. And we all know Mark Lamont Hill is a pipsqueak. Right? That was an easy target. Why didn't you ask him about that? Why? Because you don't want nobody asking you no real questions about your damn school. About how you about to lose the business. Lose the buildings and shit. You don't want that. So you go along and get along for free fucking promotion. When in actuality, Umar probably could have got a lot of free promotion from us. See, these niggas are stupid. And they think we can't pull those receipts. You think I ain't got them clips of Mark Lamont Hill doing that over and over and over again? Because he didn't just do it once or twice. He did it like a whole series of it. Right? She was dead and it was before the funeral. I've got the clips of Tariq talking about it. And then all I got to do is play those clips and play Umar fast forward 2021, what Umar is saying. These motherfuckers are full of shit. They don't give a fuck about protecting black women. They can't even, how can you protect black women when you don't even have the balls to tell them the truth? Now, I'm not saying you got to say it exactly how Kevin says it. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that we know what the truth is and what lies are. Nigga capping for Cocoa Puffs. Yeah, Dr. Steve Perry does got two fools. But I don't even think you knew that, CJM. So my point is, I got receipts. Man, I don't give a fuck about no KKK. So y'all can sit there. I don't want to hear that. Exactly, because he know what it is. But so remember, this ain't just me doing some gossip hour. I have a very long memory. And I see that's one thing about me doing this type of commentary. Like, why I need to really get in that motherfucker and do this type of commentary, because real talk, I'm not just talking about shit as it happened now. I know other creators. I know where to do the research to give y'all context. One YouTuber that impresses me a lot is the woman by the name Impressive TV. Number one, she don't show her face, and she's big as hell. So for all y'all to think you gotta show her face, but obviously she's a woman, so she get pulled from the female market, and she's got great production values. She's up there with love with her love. She's probably, I probably put her in between Tasha K and Lovely Ti. And in many ways, she does them micro documentaries. It's probably superior to both of them. But the point is, she is very good at bringing context to the shit that she talks about. So she talks about something as it happened, but she also strings along like different kind of like timelines of things. So you have like the complete context. She's very good at that. I mean, I'm not even trying to play these people. I'm not even trying to like pick on these people. But what I'm trying to let you know, what I'm trying to let y'all know is that these people are full of shit. And I'm not just running my mouth with that. If I really wanted to string together a case, make a, like, that'd be a good video, the case against Umar Johnson. And just start putting all this stuff together. And I'm not even talking about just clips to make them look bad. Like what I would do is I would give the clips, and then I would link the full conversations of every clip. So if you wanted to get the full context, you could, just so you know that I'm not putting this shit together on the bullshit. Like for real, these niggas are full of shit. They talk a good game, but in actuality, and this is a lot of them, none of them are perfect. Boyce Watkins is not perfect. All these niggas, and look, I understand socialpreneurship. Like I think Tariq does it the best. I think Jason does a good job, a pretty good job at it, like thinning the needle. But a lot of these dudes, they don't have understand that you. Here's the problem. The problem is the type of shit we deal with is not something that lends itself really to capitalism. So you have to you have to know how to fund your shit. And so this is what makes Kevin strong is Kevin gets funding from YouTube and he gets funding from black men. The support he gets as far as women watching helps too. But as far as the money, it comes from men. So it allows him to be able to say what he wants to say. Now, he would say it anyway, but the thing about it is, when you look at a lot of these dudes, and I say they're capping for Cocoa Puffs, they are never going to say anything that's going to fuck up the money. So all you have to do is say, is there a financial incentive for, I mean, women always talk about, I don't want men to lie to me. Well, you understand, just like how men are trying to fuck, men are trying to get a buck off of you. So men always have an incentive to lie to you. Shout out to Kevin too. He did a really good shout out to Obsidian. I heard that, and none of y'all better like honestly. That should shut a lot of people up about Kevin in this space. Because I promise you, Tommy would never get a shout out to any of you niggas like that. Yeah, I threw that in there. Um, how is it that King Randall has opened that school for in Albany, Georgia, but Umar? Because Umar, the problem with Umar, I already know what the problem with the school in Umar, and I'm gonna say this, I am gonna bounce. The problem with Umar is that two things. Number one is ego, but as far as like what I would assume, and keep in mind, I'm just speculating, but logistically, is Umar doesn't know how to ask for help. Umar, I know, I do believe that Umar has heard the criticism. The only thing he is a mouthpiece. And when it comes to being an administrator or like actually putting something together, he can't do it. So it's kind of one of those things where he's got to accept help, but he doesn't want to because that'll accept weakness in like his idea of what being an alpha is, which is fucking stupid, which goes to show you he doesn't know how to really work with black men. And as far as I'm concerned, you cannot be an alpha. You cannot be an alpha when you can't tell people the truth, and you can't be an alpha. And when I say that, there's degrees to that because I get it. But when you are, and you also can't be an alpha if you can't work with other men. You can't. You can't. Because that catty shit is supposed to be something women are supposed to be known for. And they look to the men for leadership to corral them. It's not supposed to be the opposite. And that's the problem you see with a lot of these dudes. That's why they tend to want to gravitate towards women. Because they know the women, they know they can lie to the women to get a consistent audience. And the women, let's be clear here, the women sign up to be lied to. The women, when I say lied, they sign up for men to lie to them. When they go to the church and all that, they're not dumb. They know this shit ain't 100% true. But they get so deep into the emotional bullshit. Like, I had a woman that says, I don't know if it was Angela or whoever, she was talking about, well, yeah, no, it was somebody else talking about, well, Kevin's brutally honest, but we need that. And then I said, look, one thing is, the honesty is only really brutal when you've never been told the truth. I'm told I'm short. I'm 5'5". I'm told I'm not told that all the time, but like when I'm very much reminded by black people. Black people want anybody, but that I'm short. Well, guess what? That's not brutal truth because it's something that I'm used to. But if you believe you're a 10 and you're really a 5, well, shit, it's going to be some brutal truth if somebody's telling you you're actually a 5 at best. Well, that's fucking brutal. So so when women talk about, well, this is too brutal, it's only brutal because it's the truth. It has nothing to do with the tone. It's brutal because it's true. It's brutal because you ain't never been told the truth before. And that's I don't know. I don't know what the I don't know what to say to that. I mean, that's society's fault. But women sign up for that. No, Kevin ain't just low. Kevin really endorses Sidian. And Dr. Steve Perry has done 2 schools. Like, so dudes are creating schools. Umar wants to do everything on his own, and Umar doesn't want to ask the government for help because Umar knows if he does, he's not going to have control over what gets taught necessarily. But I also think another thing is Umar, like Dr. Kevin Crosby was able to save that school. Umar doesn't have he doesn't have a consistent institutionalized base. And that's the problem with HOTEPs. They don't really have an institutionalized base. So they don't have consistent money they can pull from. So he's having to scramble it together. So anyway, y'all, I appreciate it. Y'all want to hit me with the Cash App? Hit me with the Cash App. $Allen100K. Shout out to Utopia for the Cash App and a couple of others as well. Let me hit y'all up while I'm here before I jump off. I want to make sure I give y'all shout outs and don't forget. Shout out to Good Men Stamps for the $20 super chat. Much appreciated. Um, Shout out to It's Keisha, Mr. Cottrell for the $5, Mr. Graves for the $5, a Young Grizzly for the $5, Mr. Tolbert, Stack of Starve. I appreciate y'all, man. But I may put that together. I may get some of the editors to do that. Because I want people to really understand what Envy said. Anyway, no, Miss Smargo, shut up. No, that's not what. Shut up, Smargo. Like, that's not true. That's not true. All right. So it is what it is. So anyway, with that being said, this is Edward. He did shout out O'Shea too, but he gave a ringing endorsement. He made sure you knew who Obsidian was. And I told Obsidian on Bernard Riley, I said Obsidian needs to take them nigga commercials to TikTok if he want to grow, because he will pop. Anyway, with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.